Hey crew, it's Pitt. We're back with another CogDat app determination. Today we're going to be dealing with Nathan Feurenstein, also known as NF. He is an amazing artist, has done wonderful things for millions of people, and I absolutely had to cover him on this channel. He's done a lot for me personally. There's his openness and his willingness to discuss his issues in a forthright manner has done a lot to inspire me to change the direction and to do what I'm doing. I'm trying to get away from the arguments and into the conversations. So, that being said, like, share, subscribe, let your friends know. Join the conversation down below. Tell me what you want to know. I did not mean to rhyme like that. Just looking at it must have inspired me. Y'all, join the conversation, and we're going to jump in.
Up, it's your boy Illwell. You're checking out Enemy, and I'm joined today by my guy right here, NF. What's going on, brother?
What's up, man? How are you?
So, am I to call you
He's like, okay, in out. All right.
NF, Nate, Nathan? What do you prefer?
I don't care, man.
You don't care?
I don't care what you want to call me. We'll talk.
Yeah.
Nate?
Nate. I'm gonna go with Nate.
Alright.
So, I mean, I guess the first thing I gotta do is congratulate you.
What do I call you?
I'm Ill.
Wait, what do I call you?
Will.
Illwell,
man.
Look at this. Look. Oh, crap. All right, I'm going to back that up. All right.
I need to congratulate you. #1 album, The Search.
Wait, I did that wrong. All right.
Right here, NF. What's going on, brother?
What's up, man? How are you?
All right. Nate's like, you just called me NF. All right. Now, we're going to move forward with that.
You.
So, am I to call you?
He's not comfortable with that because he called him NF. Like, you can see it in his face right here.
NF, Nate, Nathan? What do you prefer?
And then he's like, okay, what do you want me to call you? And Nate's like, all right,
I don't care, man.
You don't care?
I don't care, call me what you
Nate.
want.
I'm gonna go
Nate's
with
fine.
Alright.
So, I mean,
All right, so we're using real names now.
I guess the first thing I gotta do is congratulate you.
Now, hold on. What do I call you?
What do I call you?
I'm Ill Will.
He said ill will. Now watch this.
Will.
Ill Will.
You see that? That right there is the look of I want to smack you. All right, I'm done.
Man, I need to congratulate you.
That's control. And ideas. He's very flexible on the things. He's very stiff on the ideas. His name and his art name are ideas. This guy, just shit on this guy.
#1 album, The Search. You beat Chance the Rapper, bro, who was he was meant to be. It was the bookie's favorite. Were you expecting that?
I never know what to expect, man. Putting out music is, I always tell people, like, one of the most exciting and most, like, nerve-wracking times for me, just because I put so much time and, like, emotion into this thing.
Okay, that is definite ideas, and it's leading me towards organize.
Right.
And then I release it to the world to basically give their opinion of it. And so I love it, but at the same time, I just never know what it's going to do. So I'm just thankful that the fans showed up and bought the records and excited to tour it.
So it's a case of always expect the unexpected.
Well, here's what I do. I'm a very negative person.
Really?
Yes. So I try to convince myself if I think the worst will happen, if anything better than the worst happens, I'll feel better.
Okay.
That's actually a lie that I tell myself.
He's being very, very open right here. And you can see that he enjoys that. He likes being open with the tribe. He likes the interplay. He likes the fact that he's helping people.
But I do kind of live like that sometimes where I'm like, oh, there is a good chance it won't do good because of this, or this might happen, or whatever. But the truth is, it definitely, like, it's just a hard thing to do sometimes, like putting out an album, especially when it's as personal as it is, or any kind of artist. That I feel like you're putting something out there for everyone to look at, and have an opinion of.
Right.
And so it's just kind of
I'm picking up some movement vibes there as he settles in and gets comfortable.
sometimes nerve-wracking to do that. But I'm glad that it seems like the fans liked it.
That
and
hand's
the
getting
fan
more
base is
involved.
growing and just the shows and stuff, so it's good.
So, I mean, as I just mentioned, Bookie's favourite was Chance to be number one. You managed to get to number one, and there was all this controversy where he went on Twitter to say,
See his leg right here? That nervous energy is a good movement type indicator. You'll see people drumming their fingers, tapping their feet, twiddling their thumbs even. Like that's good movement type indicators.
that people wanted him to kill himself, all that kind of stuff. Did he reach out to you at all to have a conversation to congratulate you or anything like that?
No, I don't know him personally.
And you can see the same energy here. His legs are constantly moving, his hands are just expressing with his hands.
But I will say, I feel like the world nowadays is very. I just don't get like the internet.
I don't understand the tribe, and it's stressing him out to not understand the tribe's ideas on this. He's trying to organize it, and he's not getting it.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like people can say whatever they want about him. I don't know him personally, but I think he's a very talented artist. And I think sometimes people get carried away with like stuff they write about people. You know what I mean? If people were writing that kind of stuff about me, then I kind of got my first taste of some.
And see, that's a lot of hypotheticals. At this point, it sounds like he's just touching the ground with the thing, and he's going to go right back into an idea.
Of that with this album, it's just I don't know. I don't like it.
It's
I don't
dangerous.
like it when they do it to other
I have organized this idea as bad.
people. I don't like it when they do it to me. So
I mean, it's pretty dangerous.
yeah.
But
I think a lot of people just make it like this joke now, like, well, it's kind of what you signed up for as an artist, and I guess I don't really think of it that way, but
it's interesting.
See, I'm not getting... He's still got the nervous energy in his leg, but it seems like it might just be nervousness and not the movement indicator. His hands are not getting involved in this. I'm going to look for some interplay where he's trying to get pushed back. If he doesn't get the pushback, and really, he didn't give the pushback with the name thing. He wanted to, and he kind of moved with it. So that leads me towards the movement along with the energy.
Interesting you say that, because this week there was this whole thing about Andrew Luck retiring from the NFL because of injury at 29 years old, and it's like loads of people were booing him when really he was just looking after himself, but they were saying you knew what you were signing up.
And the energy completely stopped right here, and he's concentrating and trying to think on what he's saying. But if you notice, when it swaps in a second and Nate starts to talk, the ill will fellow over here he'll still be moving. His hands will still move a little bit, his feet will still move a little bit, even though he's listening to what Nate's saying. That's leaning me more towards control for Nate.
Up for. But I don't understand where the human compassion is in that. Where's that element? And I guess you guys
He's
feel the
got
same
like,
thing.
there
same way.
goes, he's sitting down.
well,
here.
I think the internet has just become a place where, because everyone can
Very
give their
tight.
opinion, there's no conversations anymore. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? It's just like opinions.
One way.
Personally, I don't think people should have been bashing him like they did about his album. If you don't like an album, I mean, I'm not going to go on someone's
see, now-
page.
See, now there's some hand movements in that. Like, as he's expressing himself more, you see the hand movements. So yeah, we're going to go with movement from that.
As an adult, and
Right.
like, I know it's not just adults, but I'm not going to go on someone's page and be like, your album was terrible.
Right.
Ever. Like, that just,
I'm not gonna do that to the tribe. I'm just not gonna do that. Why would I want to make the tribe feel bad? That doesn't even make sense. That is tribe bias.
like, doesn't make sense to me.
And then obviously with you getting to number one, what I just started to notice with all these headlines about you being number one, it was he's the artist that you don't know, and he got to number one, this mysterious guy. Do you look at yourself as a mysterious guy, as an underdog?
I personally like that people don't know who I am to some extent. But I mean, this was actually a shock to me coming here and playing Germany.
I had no idea who he was until about a month and a half ago, maybe 2 months ago. And I stumbled across him watching React videos for a different artist. And then I watched all of his videos. Like, well, not all of them, but most of them. And it's wonderful. It's great stuff.
Right?
And watching those videos tends to bias me towards movement for him. So I'm trying to be objective here. Just because he's such an energetic entertainer doesn't necessarily mean that that's who he is as a person.
Fourth
Even though Nate is very forthright.
1,000 people. Yeah, because I don't come here that often, and so to be able to travel the world and do that. But in this, even in the U.S., I think if you walk around I was just telling someone this the other day, if you went to like
Back into the hypothetical.
a city, maybe I'm not playing a show there, and you walked into a restaurant and you were like, hey, have you ever heard of NF? I think most people would be like, who? They wouldn't know. But I could go, no, I'm telling you, man. But if I went there and played a show, maybe 3,000 to 5,000 people or more, depending on the city, would come to the show. And so I don't mind that. I like...
He's organizing the stuff. Like, this could happen, this could happen, this could happen, and it's narrowing down the possibilities. Like, he's seeing a lot of possibilities, but he's trying to narrow them down. He's not just gathering them. He's focusing on the wrong ones, I think, sometimes. But he's narrowing the possibilities down.
Like, not doing tons of this kind of stuff, like press, but still being able to be an artist and do the stuff that I love to do.
Well, we love being able to do this with you.
Yeah.
We love having this conversation with you.
Yeah. No, I'm just saying in general, it's just something for me. When I put out my album Perception a couple years ago, I had never experienced interviews, like really. Not like real interviews. So when I started doing radio interviews and stuff, I was like, I don't know, man. It was just a weird experience for me, and it was exhausting. I'd never toured that much. I'd never answered the same question.
I had never had these experiences, and I don't know how I feel about that. I'm not exactly fond of getting the new stuff going on.
Questions every day or whatever,
Yeah.
and I'm also like a pretty deep person, so sometimes I was like, oh man, I wish like if I'm doing interviews, it could go deeper, things like that, So that was just like a stressful, different experience for me altogether. But back to your original question.
Yeah, organizing the experiences is bothering him. Organizing the ideas, not so much.
Which I don't remember exactly what it was because we got off of it, but
That was a little bit of a rabbit hole.
We're talking about you being an underdog.
Yeah, I think sometimes maybe I am the underdog or just the overlooked
Okay.
artist, and I'm fine with that. At this point, I'm to a place now where I'm just like, I'm just gonna keep doing what I'm doing. I think the fans love it, and that's what matters. So
You've mentioned it a few times already that you're quite deep, and obviously listening to your music, you know that, and a lot of it is very vulnerable.
He threw it back to the tribe right there, and he did it in a very obvious way. Let's run that back just a bit. All right.
We're talking about you being an underdog.
Yeah, I think sometimes maybe I am the underdog or just the overlooked
Okay.
artist, and I'm fine with that.
All right. Now right here, like I'm overlooked. That's an idea. It's organized. I'm the underdog. That's organized.
At this point, I'm to a place now where I'm just like, I'm just gonna keep doing what I'm doing. I think
This idea is organized and works,
fans love it, and
and the fans love it.
that's what matters. So
And that's what matters. And he really truly believes that. I picked up on Tribe a few times. I don't know that I pointed them all out. I know I pointed out at least one. But he does bounce back to the Tribe a lot. The fact that the interplay that he's still having with this man after he took offense from the way that the introduction went, it's a good thing. It's a good study.
You've mentioned it a few times already that you're quite deep, And obviously, listening to your music, you know that, and a lot of it is very vulnerable. Is there ever a point where you just think to yourself, do you know what, I really shouldn't be putting this out, or you're scared to? Or was there a point and somehow you managed to kick the doors down and just be like, you know what, I'm gonna do this? Because it's obviously working.
I think being 28 now, as you get older, you look at life differently. So the only thing I would say is, I don't know if there's like massive regrets or anything too specific that I would go into, but I would just say it is interesting to me. Like when you are an artist and you write music, or if you're a person who writes journals about your life or books or whatever it is, it really is like, that's kind of what music is for me. When I go back and listen to my first album, which I don't do very much at all, but every once in a while, like probably once in the past year, I like went back and listened to my old music and I was like, oh my god, this is like
that was something I wanted to get into.
There's no need to revisit that. I think we're ready to move on. Y'all check out Nate. He's a wonderful person. There will be links in the description below. All right, we're gonna go ahead, and his ideas. He is organized. He is tribe. We're going to go ahead and say movement. And the toughest decision is direct or informative. And it's tough because he's trying so hard in this interview to not be informative, but it keeps seeping out just a little bit. So we're going to go ahead and call him informative too. That will give us an ENFJ. Some people will probably scream that I just listed NF as an ENFJ, but it is what it is. He's going to filter his worldview through the tribe's ethics. He cares for others above all things. My actions will make others grateful. His parent slot is the NI, which is narrowing down the possibilities. He feels responsible for making sure the tribe knows the best possibility. The strength is finding solutions, finding what will probably work and the best bet. He's going to feel defensive over new experiences and things, and we just witnessed that. He did not like the new experiences. Your weakness here is forgetting details and always feeling the need to be best. You can definitely tell that he's an SE user if you watch his music videos. His cinematography, his wordplay, the way that everything's put together in a cohesive unit is astounding. It tells a story in a very visceral way. I'm very impressed by that. The TI inferior is going to mean that he's going to think he's good at determining true false, and he's not. He's going to assume that he's correct, and he's not. He's going to ignore inputs. And knowing what I know, that absolutely fits with NF. Turn this into a strength by learning logic, which is the thinking. You just need to develop that skill. One second. I'm going to have to try and get a little higher in my voice. Sorry. I know it sounds a little weird, but it helps. The FI nemesis here, the challenge is going to lie in dealing with the tribe's morals, being susceptible to manipulation by status. How will I feel? It will make you feel better if you do this. If you do this for me, it will make you feel better. That's how he's going to be susceptible to manipulation. The any critic is going to have a hard time seeing possibilities. That explains the spiral that he sometimes is in. He sees this as the possibility, and he doesn't see a way out of it. He has a hard time seeing the other options. Just taking the time to ensure that the other options are there and what they mean helps a lot. SI trickster is going to be unaware of how to organize things in the real world. They're going to have a hard time keeping a schedule and doing things on time. He was just talking about how keeping the schedule of touring drained him physically, and that is the SI trickster in action. That is actually showing it working. And then finally, the demon slot is he does not trust
the tribe's rationale. He doesn't understand what they think about him, and he takes it for the wrong. Even now, I'm sure like he has a wonderfully strong fan base. They absolutely love Nate, and so he gets a lot of positive encouragement from them. But even so, there are still the naysayers. He's going to focus on them naysayers. That is T.E. Demon. He's not going to be able to change that. He's not going to be able to be like, oh, I don't see it. It doesn't bother me. It doesn't affect me. That's untrue. It does bother him. It does affect him. It always will. But he can learn to balance that by learning what others really feel with his FE hero. The FE hero will help him to understand what everyone thinks in this situation and balance out the spiral of everybody hates me. But no, not really. Everybody over here feels that you're great. They're telling you this daily in these groups that are dedicated solely to you. But you still hear these demons screaming in your ear. It's time to shut the demons up. With that, we're going to leave it. This has been a really good session. I really love Nate. He's a wonderful person, and I really hope that y'all check him out. There will be the links down below for both this interview and for Nate's channel. He has some really hard-hitting music, and he's clean. I love that too. Everything he tells a story. It's wonderful. With all that being said, like, share, subscribe, tell your friends, join the conversation down below. We want to hear from you. Let me know who you'd like to see typed. I'm going to run out of ideas really quickly, so I'm going to need people to step up. Get the pit crew involved. We need to get this going. I really think we're going to be on to something here. I'd like to keep it positive as much as possible. The goal of this channel is to help people understand themselves and through better mental health, through the grace of God. Thank you. This has been Pitt's Take. Peace.